Hey YouTube world, Harvest is plenty. Thanks for stopping by to check out the video. So you guys came here for some information about the Epstein list. My response, what Epstein list? There is no Epstein list. It's all fake news. There was no blackmail going on. There was no underage girls and prostitution and sex trafficking going on. It's all just fake news. Epstein, he committed suicide. He wasn't murdered. That's conspiracy theory, and it's all fake news. And if anybody says or think anything different, then you're fired. And you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired, and you're fired too. Whew. Let's roll the tape.
Welcome back and Alive Now. I'm Austin Westfall. Breaking news coming in, some sad news to share. We're learning this from the New York Post, several other outlets reporting this as well. Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of the late convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, took her own life on Thursday. This is just weeks after she made headlines for saying that she had days to live after she claimed to have been hit by a bus. A statement given to NBC News was quoted as such from the 41-year-old's family. It says, "It's with utterly broken hearts that we announce that Virginia passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia. She lost her life to suicide after being a lifelong victim of sexual abuse and sex trafficking." The New York Post says that Giuffre took legal action against billionaire financier Epstein in 2015, alleging that she was sex trafficked at age 16 after his ex-lover and convicted madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, recruited her from her job as a locker room attendant at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. The mom of 3, according to the Post, also alleged that she was forced to have sex with disgraced Prince Andrew 3 times when she was 17, including at Epstein's Little St. James Island in New Mexico and Little St. James Island in New Mexico, and in Maxwell's London home, where a notorious photo of her with King Charles' eldest brother was taken. The Post says the allegations became the biggest scandal to rock the royal family in a generation. Again, hearing of the sad news just within the past hour, Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of late convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, taking her own life on Thursday. It was announced on Friday, her death. She was 41 years old, her family confirming this. People saying Giuffre, Jeffrey Epstein, and Prince Andrew abuse accuser, sadly dying by suicide at the age of 41. If any more details become available, we'll bring those to you as the evening progresses. But for now, we're getting the statement, the confirmation from her family tonight. A sad thing to report, and we'll keep you posted with any more updates that come through.
So it's so unfortunate that these things happen. And there will be a lot of victims, a lot of families, a lot of people who would never get any closure and who would never get any justice on this side of the earth. You need the good Lord to avenge them and to seek justice for them. Because on this side of the earth, the wicked, they're in power and they rule. It's one big club, and you and I, we're not in it.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for an American or foreign intelligence agency. the former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the staff?
Yeah, sure. If
Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Boom! There it is. You can't make this stuff up. Even if you tried, you cannot make this stuff up. Whatever happened to draining the swamp? Whatever happened to arresting Crooked Hillary? I'm going to arrest Crooked Hillary. What about all the YouTube channels out there that told you there was hundreds of secret arrests that was taking place, and that they was transferring all these people in these secret arrests to Guantanamo Bay? You know, they're rescuing the kids from underground. You know, I can't believe people fall for that stuff. And there are people who are willing to defend this clown show. You know, I told you guys that those people are not able to get those positions unless they're in the club. Pam Bondi, Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, Trump. I mean, you name them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what administration, whether it's Republican or Democrat. You don't get those positions of power unless you're part of the club. It's a big club, and you're not in it. I'm not in it. And that's the way it is. The wicked runs everything. What did Lucifer say? What did he tell Jesus? These are my kingdoms, and I give them to whoever I please. All you got to do is worship me, be part of my crew, and I'll let you rule. If you're not part of my crew, you cannot rule. It is what it is. I know some people are going to see this video and still going to disagree with me. It's cool. I love you too. Love you still. But it's a big club, and guess what? We're not in it. Maybe we could contact Ghislaine Maxwell and see if she knows what happened to the list. Yeah. How about somebody contact Ghislaine? You guys do that. Do that for me. Contact Ghislaine and ask her what happened to the list. I love you guys. Continue to pray without ceasing. May the good Lord continue blessing you and your family.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant.
You're fired. 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 You're fired.
Let's go.
Hello, Mr. Trump. It's an honor to meet you. I was wondering what you would say to President Obama.
You're fired.